You suck at finding good deals. And you know how I know that? Because the number one question that you guys ask me is, Ryan, how do I find more good deals? So if that's you, this video is going to explain everything that I've done to build a business that's going to do over $1 million in profit this year. And by the way, when I say it's going to, and I'm not projecting it out, it's already done over $400,000 in the first 3 months. So we're on the right track. Now, this is what I want to do in this video. I want to show you everything that you're doing wrong, okay? And that might sound offensive, but if you don't learn what you're doing wrong, you're never going to learn what to do correctly. This video is about lead generation, the mistakes that you're making, the fixes that I've made in my business that have allowed me to do multiple six-figure months in transactional funding. Now, first of all, if you don't know what transactional funding is, it's supplying short-term capital for real estate investors. It is not long-term lending where it's backed by the house or the asset. It is short-term backed by escrow and contracts, okay? That is what I run my entire business doing. I wanna help you find more leads doing that so that you can build your own business without any of your own money, like I did, without any of your own experience, like I did. But even if you aren't in the transactional funding niche, or maybe you're doing that in something else, this video 1000% still applies to you, okay? Lead generation is how you build a business. I figured out how to build a business. Let me help you do the exact same thing because I know that you need more deals, all right? Now, let's start with where you're at right now, okay? This is you over here and you're sad. And you're sad because you don't know how to find deals. And I felt sad like that when I was getting started. Here's what you're doing, okay? Let's draw the world, okay? I have no idea how to draw. This is the world, this is America. I only know Florida and Texas. There you go, boom. This is the world, okay? Let's say that there's 10 million real estate investors in the world. Random number, but let's just say there's 10 million. You are watching this and you're in some sort of a real estate community, right? Where there's like 10,000 people or 20,000 people or even 100,000 people, right? And that community is this dot right here. And then the whole world makes up the rest of the real estate investors, okay? This is you over here sad, right? You go to person number 1 right here and you say, hey, do you have any deals for me to do? Any wholesale deals, transactional deals? Do you need funding? And then this person says, well, I was gonna ask you the same thing. Do you have any deals you need funded? And you go back and forth with these 10 people and you're like, oh, there's no deals out there. I don't know how to figure this stuff out because you're just talking to the same dang people, okay? It's like if you were a realtor and you kept trying to find houses to sell and you just went and talked to other realtors and were like, hey, I need houses to sell. And they're like, yeah, me too, we're realtors, okay? You guys are doing that. I hope you understand that. This will help you if you understand how you can change and go from this. This is what I call fishing in the same pond, okay? That's the problem number 1. I'm gonna write it down. Problem number 1, don't fish in the same pond. That analogy is for fishers, which I am not even a fisherman. Meaning you can't all just sit in one place and expect to catch fish, right? You gotta spread out. There's a blue ocean in the world that you see right here. It's the same thing in real estate. It's the number 1 mistake you make. Now, let's move past that, okay? And let's get to actual tactical strategy. The second thing that I wanna talk about with you guys in the lead gen world, in the world of how to find good deals, is that first of all, if you're not doing anything right now and you're just expecting deals to come to you, then you can just end this video now and just start doing something, okay? If you're not doing something, you're not gonna learn anything, you're not gonna be able to make any progress. That's for dang sure. But let's say you are doing something. Don't do low leverage, okay? How many of you watching this video right now are busy? You should be nodding your heads, right? You got a job, you've got kids, you've got responsibilities, you got all these things going on, AKA you're busy. Now that you know that, now that we've admitted that, let's go to what you're doing, which is that you're over here, right? You're our sad individual over here, and you go like this. You find a person here, and you say, hey, do you need any deals funded? And then you go to the next person, and you say, hey, do you need any deals funded? And then you go to the next person, and you say, hey, do you need any deals funded? This is what's called one-to-one outreach, okay? Every single person you reach out to is a text message, a DM, a phone call, whatever it might be. Hey, do you need anything? No? Okay, let me try another. Hey, do you need anything? No? Okay, let me try another. If you're busy, this is the worst way to generate leads. Now, can it work? Absolutely. If you take enough time and you build up enough confidence and consistency, you can make money by reaching out to people individually. But let me blow your mind a little bit on the things that you're missing. If this is the one-to-one, what I want to talk about in this video is the one-to-many strategy, okay? And there's gonna be a few ways that we're gonna do one-to-many, all right? The first thing that I wanna talk about with you guys is referrals, okay? How many of you watching this video right now have other people going out and finding deals for you? Hopefully some of you, but probably not most of you. And if you do, are those people producing good results, right? So if you tell somebody, hey, I'm looking to fund EMD deals, and if you find any EMD deals, I'll pay you a percentage of the profit. And then 6 months later, that person hasn't brought you any deals, you have done a terrible job, because that means that they have no idea what they're doing, or they're not motivated to do it. Well, think about it this way. I love to go to extremes. If you told somebody, hey, if you go find me a $1 bill, I'll pay you $1 million cash. Do you think that they're gonna go find that as quickly as possible and bring you that deal? Duh, right? Makes total logical sense. Well, if you can create an offer like that for a referral, they're obviously gonna do the same thing. And here's what that looks like, right? This is you, the sad person reaching out to people individually. What if instead, this was you? I'm gonna draw you even bigger to make you look cool. All right, this is you, and you're happy because you have this person that's now reaching out to a bunch of people. And then you have this person who's also reaching out to a bunch of people. And you have all these different people reaching out to individuals on your behalf, okay? That's the one-to-many strategy. And the first way that you're gonna do that is referrals. Now let's talk about referrals, because I need every single one of you guys to come up with a referral strategy, okay? I need you to do that. You can do it during this video or after this video. Here's what you do. First of all, incentivize. That's what I just talked about. If you told somebody to go get you a $1 bill, you offered them $1 million, they're gonna do it in 10 seconds. How can you do that same thing with this? You need to be generous, okay? This is a very simple strategy that I've learned. I used it in my business. It's the way I've been able to scale. Let's say you're gonna make $100, right? You're gonna make $100 off of a deal that somebody brought to you. And you say, hey, I'll offer you half that money, okay? So you're gonna give $50 to your referral. And that referral wouldn't have made any money had they not brought you that deal. Well, that's a pretty good incentive, right? What if you even said, you know what? If I make $100, I'll give you $100. How does that make any sense? Why would you make $100 and then give them all the money? That sounds stupid. Well, that's because you're thinking about the wrong metric, right? When you're trying to grow your business, again, this can be wholesaling, this can be buying fix and flips, this can be transactional funding. It doesn't matter. Obviously, I'm doing it in the funding space, but whatever you're doing, you're thinking about, oh, I wanna make $100. I wanna make $1,000. I wanna make $10,000. In transactional funding especially, what I'm thinking about is, how can I make that $100 turn into $1 million? And the way you do that is by getting that person to come back to you again and again and again and again. And so if you can make this person, this is the way I like to think about it. I want somebody that's one of my referrals to think, this was such an insanely good deal that it would be stupid for me to ever not just bring all of my deals to this guy, right? I wanna show you guys, let me start with this. One more thing, and then I'll show you what my referrals looks like, okay? So incentivize the person. Number 2, educate the person, right? If you ask your mom to bring you real estate deals and your mom knows nothing about real estate and you're like, Mom, if you can go find me deals, I'll pay you. And she's like, okay, cool. And then she's like, what do I do now? I don't even know what the heck is happening. Well, then you're probably not gonna make any money, right? So you have to find people that are educated, or you have to have a system to actually educate them so that deals come in. These are the 2 things that I do to build my referral program. Now let me show you what it looks like when I say make it such a good system that it would be illogical for them not to bring it to you, okay? Here's what my referrals look like right now. Let's say you had a $100,000 double close, right? $100,000 double close. If you're working with me, that means that we're gonna profit $1,500. And you bring me that deal as the referral. Hey Ryan, I've got this $100,000 deal. I don't have $100,000. I don't have contracts. I don't know how any of this stuff works, but I do have the deal, right? If you work with me, I would say, okay, cool. We're gonna make $1,500 on this. I'm gonna give you $1,000 out of that $1,500 net in your pocket. And then I use that other $500 to pay my team, AKA I don't make any money, all right? Cool. Why is that so cool? Because if you were to say, all right, you know what, screw Ryan, I'm gonna go do this deal on my own, and you have to pay to raise that capital yourself, meaning that you bring in your own capital partner that you split the money with, and then you have to figure out the paperwork and pay for all that stuff, you're gonna make less than $1,000. So that means that working with me makes you more money and you do 90% less work. Literally, I do everything, you just bring the deal. Why do I do that? Because this person that needed the $100,000 deal funded is gonna come back again next week and need that deal funded again. And maybe then they'll come back the month after that and they'll need a $500,000 deal funded, which means we'll make $7,500. And then they need another one and another one and another one. I do not care about profits on these deals because I care about the individuals that bring the deals themselves. And if you can create a system that incentivizes this, it makes it illogical for people not to come to you, and you can educate them on how it works, unstoppable. It's insane. It's how I built my business to the levels that it's at right now, where we are doing north of 6 figures on a monthly basis. This is only strategy number 1, okay? And you're probably not even implementing that, so maybe you pause this video and you just go work on that. Let's get to the next one. And referrals are only the first thing, right? There is so many different things that you guys are missing with this stuff. The next one I wanna talk about, we wanna think about the people that are getting their hands in the cookie jar, right? The people that are already seeing transactions every day. So if you're an engineer or a doctor or whatever it might be, you're not seeing these transactions happen every day, but who is? Well, the next one to many that you can work with is TCs. TC stands for Transaction Coordinator. These are people that coordinate real estate transactions. There's a ton of them. They all do different things, but you can look and find the ones specifically for whatever deal you're trying to find, right? So for example, if we were looking at EMD deals, right? If you were looking at EMD deals, who does EMD? Well, we've got a wholesaler and let's say a flipper, and there's plenty of other people EMDs used on every transaction, but let's say for example, you wanted to fund EMD for a wholesaler that was doing creative finance deals, right? These guys do creative finance. That's something that requires more paperwork, so that's something that might be more common to involve something like a transaction coordinator. Cool. So now we just say, okay, how do we find a network? So we're asking the question, okay, who is going to be doing this type of creative transaction with a wholesaler? You can figure that out through their websites, Google search, you can ask ChatGPT, you can talk to your people around you, right? The people that are your warm leads that you already know that are in your phone, whatever it might be. And it's pretty easy to find, right? So you say, I'm looking for TCs that handle creative finance transactions. You can then speak to those people to find people that are doing a lot of deals that might be somebody that you could work with. And how do you then incentivize these people that are seeing all these deals to work with you? Through referrals, right? It's all gonna end up sprinkling back up to referrals. That's how I do over 50% of my business. And that's what most of you guys are missing, right? Creating referral programs that work. So TCs, I make a ton of money off of TCs bringing me deals. Now, why would somebody like a transaction coordinator want to bring you a deal for somebody else? Well, number 1, you create a referral program that incentivizes them, that makes it worth it. Number 2, you have proof that you can do what you say you can do, right? You're experienced, you're educated, all these things that I keep talking about. Because what a TC wants, let's say a TC is gonna bring in a EMD funder for every single deal that they coordinate. Well, do you think it would be easier for that TC to find a new person every time who may or may not know what they're doing, who may or may not get things done on time, who use different contracts, or would they rather work with just one person? It's pretty obvious, right? So the question is, how do you become that one person? And it's everything that we're talking about, right? You become that one person, you identify what you're looking for as specific as possible, and then you go out and find it, you get a ton of deals. Is this theory? No, I do it every day. This is how I built my business. That's number 2 is TCs. The next thing, title companies. Again, what are we thinking about? We're thinking about high level, all these people that are doing a ton of transactions that can trickle down to you. Title company manages real estate transactions. They close on real estate transactions. Now, again, we can get tactical. Let's say that we want to find double closes. Okay, cool. Well, what title company does double closes specifically? You can ask the people you know, you can research this online, you can reach out to them, you can find people that do double closes, and then you can say, hey, I want to fund your double close. Or I like to take a curiosity route of, hey, when you guys do double closes right now, who funds them? Is it different people every time? Do you have a go-to person? Why do you prefer that person? What could they do better? Curiosity, right? Now, again, 2 things specifically everybody misses when trying to do something like this. Can the title company bring you deals? Yes. Is the title company gonna bring you a rando that calls them up on a cold call deal? Highly unlikely. Why? First of all, have you created a referral program that's gonna make it worth it for them? And number 2, do you have credibility behind what you do? Personally, the way that I find deals from title companies is I close deals through referrals with a new title company. Once I close the deal, I say, hey, remember that deal we just did where I was really fast, everything was on time, we funded it, we proved to you that we can do what we say we could do. Would you like to do more of those with us? Now, instead of me being some rando cold person, I'm a warm person. They already know who I am. They've already seen proof that I can do what I say I can do, and I get more deals. Easy, easy, easy if you follow those standards. If you just try and throw it out of left field. I had somebody reach out to me, they said, I've been cold calling title companies for 6 months. I've never gotten a deal. It's not the actual thing that you're reaching out to, right? These people are doing a ton of deals. It's your approach and your credibility behind it. And what do you do if you have no credibility? Shocker, you work with somebody who does, right? People use my credibility all the time. If you find somebody who has the experience, you can use their credibility, build it up for yourself, then take that and do it, and then give it to the next person, right? That's how this stuff works. So that's the third one, title companies. The last one that I want to talk about with you that I think nobody is taking good enough advantage of, I'm going to use the word gurus, right? You know that land wholesaling Facebook group or school community or whatever? Have you ever thought about speaking with the leader of that group that has all of these people underneath them that listen to them and say, hey, let's strike up a referral deal while I pay you for every deal that comes in. You don't have to worry about trying to build a transactional funding business, but you can just bring me these deals. I'll pay you a good chunk of the profits, a percentage of the profits, a flat fee, whatever your structure is. And now you can tell everybody that's in your triangle below you to bring these deals to me, right? You can do it with a wholesale. You can do it with creative finance. You can do it with regular rental properties, Airbnbs, whatever it might be. Find the type of funding that you want to do. Find the people that are doing that. Get on phone calls with them, or if you can't get straight to them, right? You can get to like their assistants or their partner, whatever it might be, right? If it's somebody that's like super famous, then just work with somebody below them, work your way up, or make the pitch to somebody that's below them with the same objective, okay? These right here, these 4 things are the most powerful one-to-many tactics that I have used and proven to work in my business. I still do these every day. I still book calls with gurus, right? We still follow up with every single title company. I'm always outreaching to TCs, and I'm building referral programs that make it illogical not to work with me. You can do the same thing. You can do the exact same thing. But if you spend all of your time doing the sad face over here, the one-to-one DMs, and you do that for a year, you will, think about this, if you reach out to 100 people a day for an entire year, that's like what, 36,000 people, I think? 36,000 people, right? If I reach out to 1 TC a month, and each one of those TCs works with 1,000 clients or a title company, right? Or whatever it might be, you can reach that same amount of people with literally like what, 1/1000th of the amount of effort, and they're more credible. Who's more credible? A random person that you DM on social media, or a transaction coordinator who's closed 1,000 deals? A title company who's licensed and closing deals every day? Who's more credible? Who's gonna bring you more deals? You're focused on the wrong people, guys. One-to-one helps you build your confidence. It's easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can send a message, right? But when you're ready to actually scale, grow, find success, build your business, make money, you don't go one-to-one every day. Do you see that these famous people, these people making a ton of money, are they just sending you personalized DMs every day? No, right? They're running ads, they're building referral programs, they're creating a network that brings them deals. You have to do the same thing. So if you're watching this video right now, think about how you can incorporate this strategy to get more good deals, okay? Don't fish in the same pond. That's number 1, right? Go to meetups that are uncomfortable. Talk to people that you don't already know. Get outside of your circle. If you live in your circle, you will be comfortable and happy, but you're not gonna make any money, okay? So you choose which one you want. Number 2, stop doing these low leverage things, or do less of them and start getting more strategic. Higher level people not only bring you higher level deals, right? We're talking about needing deals, we're talking about needing good deals. They bring you higher level deals, and you can do less work in the process. Yes, this is the reality when you learn how to generate leads correctly. But if you keep doing what you're doing and it's not working, then you would be considered insane to keep doing that and expecting a different result. Come up with a game plan that works. Focus on this. If you want more resources and information on how I've built this business and use these strategies, you can click the first link in the description. We have a free real estate group on School. Jump inside of there, network with other people that are making money, and learn from the people who are actually doing the deals that you want to be doing, okay? It's that simple. Find people that are doing it, learn what they're doing, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. If you have any questions for me, you can leave those comments below this video. I would be more than happy to answer them, and I will do anything I can to share what I've learned in this business with you so that you can do the same thing. I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you in the next video.